Smile, be, chat, join for networking.
Hi, I'm Dee Atkins and I'm Miss Make It Happen. Today I want to give you a talk on hindsight. The dictionary says, understanding an event or situation only after it has happened or developed. There are two words in the English dictionary that sound like hindsight. The first one is insight, something you can get once you've had hindsight. The other one is bomb sight. And that's kind of what you get before you get the hindsight, which I quite like that idea. I'm the type of person who learns the hard way. I'll look a 9-volt battery and then I'll do it again just to make sure it was as bad as it was the first time. I tend to learn things the hard way in general. But today's not about me. Today's about 4 women that I know very, very personally. I want to tell you their story. The first lady is called Zena. Zena's a young lady. She had everything going for her. She had high grades at school. She was the ambassador of her school. She played every sport imaginable. She even played in the London Youth Games for basketball, where her team took bronze. Zena loved life. She had very close friends who she could trust. She had a big network of mates who she could party with. Life threw her a curveball. I'll come back to her afterwards. Honey. Honey was in a very high-powered job. Every day she would walk into some of the biggest boardrooms in the country. She would stand in front of people and tell them exactly what she wanted and what they wanted. Honey had a partner for 4 years. At first they were happy, and then he started to drink. She accepted that she loved him, so she stayed with him. He became emotionally and verbally abusive. It destroyed her from the inside out. So yes, during Monday to Friday she would go and she would be a high-powered businesswoman earning an absolute fortune. Of a weekend she was told what to wear, who to speak to and how to speak. We then come on to our third lady. Our third lady is called Bug. Bug was a lively little chicken. She loved life. She had a partner for 6 years who she absolutely adored. She worked for a great industry. She loved what she was doing, and every single day of her life was fine, until something changed. She got made redundant from the job that she was in for 8 years. The directors of the company, they decided they didn't like each other anymore, so everybody got made redundant. Now, Bug's life just flipped upside down. She needed to think, what do I need to do with my life? I've been in the same job with the same employers for so long, I don't know what to do. So she started her own company. This was great, £250,000 turnover in the first year. She wasn't complaining. I think you'll all agree, as business owners, that was pretty good going. She knew she was good at her job. And then she started getting stomach pains. Now, Bug went to the walk-in centre and she said to the walk-in centre staff, I've got something going on. And they said, okay, done some tests, it's gallstones, you've got gallstones. Okay, that's fine. Leave the walk-in centre, go home, tell the family. What else do you believe? The next day, Bug lost her baby. Bug didn't know she was pregnant, and it took her 2 weeks to tell her own partner that the baby was gone, a baby that neither of them knew existed, because she felt like a failure. She didn't want to talk to anybody. It then took 5 years from that date for her family to find out that it wasn't gallstones. She kept it from everybody. At this point, I should probably tell you those 3 women never existed. Well, they kind of did, but they were one person. Those women were me. So, go back to the relationship of Bug, or me. That was my partner. For the last 6 months of that relationship, things were going wrong. We started to destroy each other because neither of us had the guts to say, hold on a minute, I don't love you anymore, we need to move on. And then I read a book, and that book was Goya by Brad Burton, Get Off Your Ass. And I left my partner. Just before Christmas in 2011, we were sitting there eating dinner and I said, I don't love you anymore. And he went, oh, thank God for that. Literally, we had the best Christmas and New Year's, and I officially left him on the 10th of March 2012. We're still friends to this day. I was babysitting his baby the other day, me and his fiancée, great relationship. So 2012, I went into hermit state. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't know where I was going with my life. Then my granddad died in October 2012. He was my hero. It was a very, very quick death over a period of 5 days, and I was destroyed. One of the last things he said to me was, please look after my girls. And I couldn't grieve. I wasn't allowed to grieve because I had to look after my mum, because that's what my hero wanted me to do. Now, 2 months later, I go to the doctors and I've got an autoimmune disease. Really sorry, Miss Atkins, but we messed up. We kind of need to put you on a medication, but it's too late for that now because we missed what was going on. You're going to need to have chemotherapy. So I was like, okay, there's not much I can do. So I asked them to postpone it for 3 months. In the March of 2013, I started my chemotherapy. It's a lower dose, potential of losing my hair. Luckily I didn't, I was one of the lucky ones. But not many people knew what was going on. There was my best friend Jamie. She knows everything. She's been my friend since I was 5 years old. Brad, who called me every Tuesday on chemo day to just call me Chemo Kid and make me laugh. And there was a couple of other friends. But most importantly was my 4N family. The people, some of you I'd never met at the time, you were there for me to make me laugh, to take the piss. So, in hindsight, I will run you through my stories. With Zena was my basketball nickname, by the way. I was the warrior princess. Zena's lesson, or hindsight, was that things change, life change. You will get curveballs, and you need to accept that. She wasn't ready for adulthood. She had this dream bubble of being the popular girl at school, and yet she wasn't ready for the nastiness that life will bring after school. That was her lesson. Then we had Honey. Fuck them all, seriously. Don't let somebody dictate who you are. You were all born individual. If you want to go out dressed in that shirt, then you rock on. Then you rock it. Seriously, be who you want to be. Talk to who you want to talk to. Then you've got Bug. Talk to people, whether it'll be your friend, your family, a Samaritan. Go over the park, find a random, anybody will talk to you. Seriously, I can't express how important it is to actually speak to somebody. Don't keep it in, it will destroy your soul from the inside out, and you can't be the person you need to be in life if you're hiding secrets like that. My lesson can be summed up by a friend. He once looked me in the eye and he said, "You're the only person who don't know how fucking awesome you are, but you will one day." And I want to pass that on to you all, guys. You need to believe in yourself. You need to be the person you was meant to be. And if I can go through that shit and then come out the other side still smiling, at the age of 25, I was told, 35, you're probably going to be in a wheelchair. So what did I do? I ran a marathon and done Tough Mudder. There's nothing quite like 10,000 volts going through your system after you've done half a marathon and been tortured with water. So yeah, go out there, live your lives, forget your past, but use the hindsight.
Smile, be chat, join for networking.